1,000 years ago, in the heart of the misty Scottish Highlands, four of the most powerful wizards history had ever seen gathered. They had a shared dream: to teach magic to minds strong enough to bear it. But there was a problem. Once they were gone, who would sort the students entering through the doors of this massive castle? And by what criteria? Godric Gryffindor took the simple, frayed leather hat from his head. All four founders breathed a piece of their intellect, courage, loyalty, and ambition into it. It was no longer just an object. It was a living, breathing memory. But this memory would also absorb a great sorrow. When Salazar Slytherin's pure-blood obsession drove a wedge between him and his closest friend, Gryffindor, the first great pain was woven into the hat's stitches. As the Founders' Brotherhood shattered, the hat witnessed it all in silence. So, how does this lifeless piece of leather see the hidden gem inside a child? Legilimency, the art of mind reading. The moment the hat touches your head, it seeps into the darkest corners of your mind, into your deepest fears. It looks not just at what you are today, but at what you will choose to become tomorrow. Sometimes a mind becomes a puzzle even for the hat. When Hermione Granger sat on that stool, the hat wavered for 4 whole minutes between her unparalleled intellect and her fiercely burning courage. Ravenclaw or Gryffindor, or Neville Longbottom? The fear of inadequacy in his mind was so immense that he silently begged the hat to put him in Hufflepuff. "I am not brave enough to be a Gryffindor," he said to himself. But the hat saw the lion's heart that Neville couldn't even see at that moment, and rejected his pleas, because the hat sometimes knows you better than you know yourself. Except for that single night of the year, the hat waits alone in the headmaster's office for centuries. Among the dusty shelves, it is thought to be asleep. Yet, the hat's mind never sleeps. It listens to all the whispers permeated into the walls of Hogwarts, the darkest secrets of the headmasters, and the plans made behind closed doors. And when Lord Voldemort's shadow rose again, in those dark days when the Order of the Phoenix was formed, the hat made a centuries-old confession. In its new song, it didn't just praise the houses, it questioned its own existence, the task given to it by the Founders. "Though I must divide you," it told the students, "I fear this weakens us." The hat had watched Slytherin and Gryffindor part ways centuries ago, and now it was terrified that the same mistake would turn the children against each other. The Sorting Hat has read countless minds over the centuries. It has seen betrayals, ambitions, and goodness. But there are some minds that the hat even hesitates to touch. In 1938, when a pale, quiet orphan sat on that stool, the hat shouted its decision before even touching a strand of the boy's hair. "Slytherin!" That boy was Tom Marvolo Riddle. The icy, selfish ambition and dark potential in Riddle's mind were so intense that the hat never forgot that moment. The snake within that mind was powerful enough to poison even Salazar Slytherin's legacy. The most desperate moment of the Battle of Hogwarts. Lord Voldemort had declared his victory by displaying the dead body of Harry Potter. To extinguish the last spark of resistance, the Dark Lord forced that sacred relic symbolizing Hogwarts' independence, the Sorting Hat, onto Neville Longbottom's head. He cruelly set fire to the hat on the head of the boy he had paralyzed with the body-bind curse. But there was something the Dark Lord did not understand. 1,000-year-old ancient magic could not be destroyed by simple flames. As the flames scorched the hat, Neville found that true Gryffindor fire within him and shattered the curse. He thrust his hand into those flames, into that dark tear. The ruby-hilted silver sword of Godric Gryffindor awoke from its centuries-old slumber and fell into Neville's hands. The hat didn't just choose a house that night. It forged the epic hero who would sever the head of a giant snake. When the war ended, the Great Hall was in ruins. But among those ashes, broken stones, and overturned tables, the Sorting Hat, its edges scorched and covered in soot, was still there. Just like the school it protected, it was worn, wounded, but never defeated. It was the collective memory not just of the four founders, but of all Hogwarts, which had its walls shaken and survived the fires. It was resistance itself. Years passed, wounds healed. Resting on a glass display in the headmaster's office, the Sorting Hat now proudly wore the scars of war like a medal. That scorched leather waited to whisper courage to new generations. And that day came. Harry Potter's son, Albus Severus Potter, sat on that wooden stool. The boy's mind was crushed under the legacy of his family and the weight of expectations. He trembled with that great fear inside him. What if I am sorted into Slytherin? The hat touched Albus's mind with centuries-old compassion. It saw the anxiety inside him, the quest for goodness, but also the ambition to prove himself. And the hat shouted the decision that tore through the silence to the whole hall. Slytherin! The great hall fell into a deep silence, but this was not a punishment. That day, the hat taught a child carrying the weight of the Potter name the most valuable lesson. Slytherin was not a pit of darkness, but a cradle of potential. It is not our legacy that carries us from darkness to light, but the steps we will take. The stone walls of Hogwarts may weather over time. New heroes may be born. New Dark Lords may rise and fall. But that old, patched leather hat will continue to carry the vision of the 4 great founders in its heart forever. Because magic only finds its meaning when it blooms in the right hearts. Now think. Imagine the hat touching your mind in the heavy silence of that hall. What fire would you discover burning inside you? Fearless bravery, boundless wisdom, unshakable loyalty, or an ambition that could change the world? The time has come to choose your destiny. Which house would the Sorting Hat send you to? Write it in the comments right now and defend your Hogwarts legacy. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to discover those deeper secrets of this magical universe hidden only in the books. Stay magical.